All righty. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to week one of our onboarding session. It is a total of 8 weeks, and I will be doing a series of education and some social media homework and really just kind of help get you through your probationary period with anything, any questions that you might have. My brain is kind of at your disposal, so please lean on me for anything that you need. So for these entire 8 weeks, you'll be reaching out to me personally if you have any questions, along with your onboarding specialist. So everyone has already done MFL day, and at this point, they should have been assigned your onboarding specialist. Has anyone not gotten a hold of their onboarding specialist yet? Please let me know, and I will make a list.
I don't think I have.
Okay. Has anyone else not been assigned their onboarding specialist yet? Lauren Garcia, onboarding specialist. Everyone else has it? Yes? Give me a thumbs up. Gracie, I got it. Kelly, do you have your onboarding specialist?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Christy, I think I'm waiting for you. Do you have yours? Perfect.
Addie, yes.
Yay, good. Who are y'all's onboarding specialists?
Katrina is ours for Gracie, Christy, and Addie.
Oh, okay, great. Does anyone have Kristen for the Dallas area? No, what about Lauren or Katie?
I have Katie.
Katie. I have Kristen.
We have some awesome onboarding specialists. We're gonna have a great time. Okay. All right. Let me do my screen share. And let's get started. Okay, so again, this is our week one of my onboarding sessions that you will do. You will meet with me every Sunday. Starting next week, it'll be at 7 p.m., not 7:30. The reason why it was at 7:30 today is because I had my week 8 call from my last group, so we had 1 week overlap. So for next week, we will meet at 7. Okay, so 7 p.m. It will always be the exact same link every single time. If for whatever reason you can't remember the link, the meeting ID is my cell phone number. So 832-230-7788. If you ever can't find the link, the meeting ID is that. Let's get started. Okay, so in MFL Day, you learned about the 3 different platforms that we use within My Face Lady. And those are Bamboo. So Bamboo HR is where all of your documents for your employment are housed. Your certifications are also there as well. So they will be uploaded into your account. So if you want to see any of your certifications, if you want to change your address, anything like that, all of that is going to be in Bamboo. There's also some education things in there for you. Those are not mandatory. Those are just additional resources for you to have. And then Aesthetic Record is our EMR system that we use. And this is where 99.9% of all the things that you do within My Face Lady are going to happen within Aesthetic Record. So this is your EMR as well as your point of sale. So you'll be collecting payment through Aesthetic Record as well. And then finally, we utilize WhatsApp along with Facebook. WhatsApp is for product movement only. And that is, you will be assigned a WhatsApp group, and that is different districts. So like in Houston, we have, I think, like 4 districts. Dallas, I think you just have 1. And then Louisiana, you just have 1. But if you're in the Houston area, since we have a lot of injectors kind of in Houston, you have several different districts. I believe there's also one for Austin and San Antonio. Has everybody been assigned a WhatsApp group, and have they been able to get into it? Please give me a thumbs up if you have.
I have not.
Kelly, where do you live?
I'm in like the Heights area of Houston.
Okay. Let me see. That's just going to be Houston in general. All right. Cancel. Copy link. Okay. Kelly, what is your cell phone number?
832
Okay.
518
Okay.
0495.
Okay. I just texted you your WhatsApp group, so please go ahead and join and let me know when it's finished.
Okay, perfect.
Anyone else not been a group, just go ahead and unmute yourself if you have not. Everyone else is good, correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. And then also we use Facebook. Okay. So the WhatsApp groups, like I said, those are for product movement only. So if you have any questions, if you want to show before and after pictures, anything like that, that does not go on WhatsApp. That goes on Facebook. And we have two different Facebook groups. The first one is going to be specific to your onboarding cohort. So yours is February onboarding group. And then you also will be a part of the all MFL injector onboarding group as well. So once you are finished with these 8 weeks, you will then be dropped out of the onboarding group and solely utilize the Facebook group. And that's where you ask questions regarding treatment questions. If you want to show before and after pictures, if you want to put your social media handle on there and say, hey guys, will you follow me? You will get all of the injectors to kind of follow you. So please utilize that group. It is a giant resource and a giant kind of a big group of people that are all kind of willing to help. So great resource. So those are the 3 or 4 platforms that we utilize within My Face Lady. Any questions about those? Excellent. Moving on. Okay, so within MFL, we also use these 3 reward platforms. Ally is for Botox, Aspire is for Dysport, and Evolus is for Jeuveau. Ally is not integrated at all with aesthetic records, so there is a 2-step process for Ally. Aspire is fully integrated and Evolus is halfway integrated. There are 2 separate ways for you to log the Evolus rewards in. One is through the aesthetic record, and Ashley went over that in the onboarding MFL day. The only reason why we tell you another way is because sometimes there is a lag with aesthetic record and Evolus for sending the magic codes because they change them pretty frequently. Sometimes it might be off, and so that's the reason why it won't work. So we always give you an additional way to go ahead and log those points. So those are the 3 platforms that we use, and we'll be going through that in later calls, and that way you can kind of work through it before you actually see live patients. Okay, so now at this point, I am going to have everybody log in to Aesthetic Record, and you are going to add yourself as a test patient. Okay, so I need everyone to go ahead and download the Aesthetic Record app. Please give me a thumbs up once you have done it. You can see what it looks like. It is this little white box with the AR. Please make sure you download the correct one. Emily, you got yours? Lauren, thank you. Perfect. Looks like everybody. Okay. Was anyone not able to download it? Please unmute yourself and let me know if you have not. Okay. Once you go ahead and download the app, I'm going to have you go ahead and you're going to log into Aesthetic Record. So please log in and you should be able to already have your login information that was sent to you via email. If you cannot log in or are having difficulties, please unmute yourself now and let me know. Everyone's good? Okay. Once you have logged into Aesthetic Record, you're going to simply you're going to click these little white dots down here that are in the little blue bubble at the bottom right-hand corner, and you're going to select the plus button. Once you select that plus button, this is how you're going to add every single new client. You're going to type in their first name and their last name, gender, date of birth, email, and phone number. There's additional information below that. You do not need to add anything else. You don't need to add insurance information, address, anything like that. So the core information that we must have is first and last name, gender, date of birth, email, and phone number. I'm going to have you create yourself as a test patient. So you're going to do first name, your first name, and the last name will be test. And then you can do, gender, date of birth, email, your email, and then contact information. This is also where you can add your own personal treatments as well. But I want you to be able to have an account to where you can go in and kind of play with Aesthetic Record and kind of figure some things out, because that's kind of how my brain works, is I have to kind of work through it and kind of see what I do. The only thing that we ask of you for whenever you are playing with those charts, please do not check yourself out. So don't accidentally hit cash out or put your credit card number in or anything crazy like that. So you can do whatever you want, just please don't cash yourself out. So give me a thumbs up once you have completed your test, you've added your test patient.
And it's Maritza. Hi.
Maritza.
I'm trying to get in. I'm having trouble getting into the mobile, but I'm in on my computer. Should I
No.
just do it through my computer? Do it through the mobile?
Yeah, you have to do it through the mobile. So the computer
Okay.
is not, that's not the app, and you cannot chart on patients or collect payment. It has
Okay.
to be through the app. The only reason you will use the .com version on your computer is when you are signing your charts or if you are doing your traceability product transfers. That's the only time you will ever log in.
Okay. So I'm gonna switch my Zoom on my computer so it'll be easier for me to do it on the phone because I have you on my phone right now.
Yeah, not a
With
problem.
Zoom meeting. So just give me a second.
And guys, if you need to say something to me, don't utilize the chat feature, just unmute yourself. Okay. All right. So once you have done that, so you can see I'm going to walk you through this. So first name, last name, date of birth. Now, whenever you're doing the date of birth, always do the year first. Don't try to do the month because sometimes it'll give you, depending on what month it is. So just always do the year first. So do year first, and then you can do month and day. And then once you're done, you're going to hit this save button in the upper right-hand corner of the little floppy disk. And that is how you officially add a patient into Aesthetic Record. Every patient must be added before you can schedule an appointment for them, okay? So we're going to walk through that appointment process as well. So now for the appointment, I'm going to back it up just a smidge so you can see what I just did. So again, once the patient has been added, now you can schedule your appointment. So again, you're going to hit the 3 white dots inside of the blue bubble. And you're going to click the calendar icon. From here, this is where you can book the new appointment for the patient. You can either do this for your patient at the time of appointment, or you can send them the link and they can book their own appointment. So whatever is more convenient for you. Once you book this, what it does is it automatically fires the pre and post instructions, which are required by law for every single patient because it is a medical procedure. So this must be done every single time. The patient must get those instructions. So you will say the appointment type, it is in person. You will choose the provider, which is going to be yourself. You will then choose to make sure the clinic matches the provider. Again, it will be yourself. And then you will simply select the date and time that the patient is going to be having the booking. Now, if it does not allow you to choose a date, it means that you have not opened up your calendar yet. And you must go into aesthetic record on the .com and open up your calendar. This is something that you are responsible for doing. We don't want to say that you're available 24 hours a day. You have to go in there and say the hours that you are available. And there is a step-by-step guide that is posted on the onboarding Facebook group titled the February onboarding group. So there is one on there that says of how to open up your schedule. Now, also on that Facebook onboarding group, it's actually a group that we use over and over and over again. So all of the previous calls are recorded. It's very simple to go in and use the search feature in the Facebook group, and you can search for whatever you want. If you're looking for the price list, if you're looking for before and after photos, if you're looking for a certain week call, simply utilize that search function and all of that will pop up for you. So I'm going to walk you through once you have this appointment booked. I'm going to find my name and the clinic must match. And then I will select the service that the patient is going to be getting. And then I will select the date. And then once that's done, I will then hit save. I will type in the patient's name and it will automatically populate the patient's name. This is why they must be present within aesthetic record. Once you hit save, it's going to send the patient a confirmation. It will also send you a confirmation. Now in here, you have the ability to go ahead and put in the patient's credit card if you would like. I don't do that, but I know some injectors who do. So if you would like to go ahead and put in their payment information, you can at that time. So everyone go ahead and please book yourself on your test patient as an appointment time. So, and give me a thumbs up once it's done.
I'm not able to book because it doesn't allow me to show a service.
It doesn't, not,
Like there's no options for service.
does anyone else have that issue? Emily, your service menu just may not be opened up yet.
Okay.
This is why we go through this, so I can make sure all of this gets done. So, Emily, I'm going to write your name down. Emily Tuzzi.
I'm
Service.
sorry, and can you can you go back from the beginning because I was having issues.
Yep.
So where do I start?
You need to create yourself as a test patient.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to press those white bubbles inside of that blue bubble and then hit plus. And then add, and then you'll add all of that information. Your first name, last name will be test. And then you'll do your email, your gender, your date of birth. Make sure you do the year first. And then you will do your email address and your phone number. And then you will click that floppy disk in that upper right-hand corner, which is the save function, which I think younger people now don't understand that the floppy disk is actually used to be a thing. I think it's funny. And then once you've done that, you can hit the back button and you're going to then book yourself an appointment. And again, you hit those white bubbles inside of that big blue bubble, and you're going to hit that calendar icon. It's at the very top. And then you will fill out that information and select the time and date and the service. Please let me know if your service menu is not open or if you need to open up your own schedule.
I think I just need to put in my schedule availability because it won't let me schedule it.
Yeah, it's probably, yeah, if it's not allowing you to do it, it's because you need to open up your schedule.
Can you open up your schedule through the app or do you have to go on a desktop?
It has to be on the desktop.
Okay.
Yep. Because you have to go in and select. I mean, mine's open 24 hours a day because I don't actually give my link out to anybody. If someone wants to schedule an appointment with me, they just text me and then I schedule their appointment in front of them. And then that way they get their pre and post instructions right then and there. But I know some injectors who send out their link. That's why we don't open it for them, because then people could just book whenever they want and they could book at, when they're working at the hospital or something. Okay, everyone good to go? Perfect. Now what we're going to do is you are now going to chart on that test patient. Okay, so this is how you're going to chart. And this is going to be part of your homework for this week. So you will have to screenshot this and then you will submit it to that Facebook page, that onboarding Facebook page. And again, this is just practice so you can get comfortable charting. So you're going to chart a simple procedure. So after you've created your test patient and you've booked their appointment, now you're going to chart something. So again, you're going to go back to this main screen, click on those white bubbles inside of that blue bubble, and you're going to hit that magnifying glass, and you're going to search for the patient that you just created, which is going to be your first name and last name test. Okay. Once you do this and you click on the patient, you will be able to see every single one of the procedures that they've had ever within My Face Lady, even if it was done from a different provider. So you can see what they've had done in the past, which is great. Once you get to this, if the patient has never been seen before, there won't be any information at all shown on your screen right now. So to go ahead and start your next procedure, you're going to click on this plus button in the upper right-hand corner. And once you click on that, you're simply going to click cosmetic. Even if you are doing an IV drip, you will always click on cosmetic. From here, because the patient's male, you're going to see all the male anatomy. If the patient that I chose was a female, you would see all the female anatomy. We will always work on the patient's face, so please select face. Now, what you're going to see here now, this is that appointment that you booked. And so you can see I booked this patient and you'll simply click on that appointment. And once you click on it, it will have a little blue check mark appear. And then you will click on next in the upper right-hand corner. You're just going to verify that everything is correct, the provider is correct, and the clinic is correct. And then click next in the upper right-hand corner again. And then this is where you're going to do your questionnaire. Now, your screen might look slightly different. Aesthetic Record just recently did an update, I think last week. So it looks a little different, but it's still going to simply be the same thing where you're going to be selecting the questionnaire first, and then it will take you to the consents. So click on New Patient Questionnaire. And again, this looks just a little different. It's going to ask you if anything has changed or if they're a new patient, and you will follow the prompts. And then once you've done everything, you will then click Save, and then it will take you to the next one, which is going to be the patient consent. Please click on the consents that are appropriate. So if the patient is getting a neurotoxin consent, you will click on that one. If you need a telemedicine, if you are a registered nurse and you need a telemedicine, please click on the telemedicine consent. And then also if you want to use their pictures for social media, their before and after photos, please select that one as well. You can select multiple consents at one time. And I'm simply just showing you all the different types of procedures that we have. And at this point, you will hand your phone to the patient and say, as soon as you finish reading this, they can click sign in the upper right-hand corner, and they can initial in your big box with their finger. Now, there is a button at the very bottom that says that you have multiple sends being consigned. Do you want to sign all of them at one time? Please click that box. That way the patient doesn't have to go in and sign each individual one. It will simply clump all of them together into one giant consent, and their signature will suffice for all of them.
Okay, I might be the only one that's lost. On the desktop, how do you make it available for you to say the time?
Are you talking about to open up your schedule?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm having issue with that too. Sorry, Anne.
That's all right. Well, just put that on pause for now, and then we can go over how to do that at the very end.
Okay.
Okay. So this is where you're going to upload all of the pictures. Please take all of the pictures. You can take them on your phone. I actually take them just on my camera, and then you can simply upload them. The 5 pictures that you're going to be taking, the first picture is face looking forward in resting stasis. You want to be assessing those resting stasis lines. The second image is going to be where glabella is activated. So you're going to have the patient frown as hard as they can because you want to see the procerus and the corrugators activated. Then the third picture is going to be assessing the frontalis muscle. So you're going to have the patient lift up their eyebrows as high as they can. And then the fourth and fifth picture are going to be you assessing the crow's feet or the orbicularis oculi muscle. So you'll have the patient turn to the right side and smile real pretty, and then turn to the left side and smile real pretty. Please take those 5 pictures in that exact order. So again, face relaxed, looking angry, eyebrows up, smile, smile. And then you will simply load all of those. Now the images, it says front image, right image, left image. Ignore that. Please take them in that exact order. You will simply select all 5 images and click take pictures. And if you've already taken them on your camera, you can simply click photos. If you, for this scenario, I just uploaded the template, but please take pictures of the actual patient because it will make your life significantly easier, not only to treat the patient in the future, but also if the patient wants to see any before or after photos, you can submit those to them. Once everything has uploaded, you are then going to click finish in the upper right-hand corner and then click start. Now you can officially start the procedure. Now, when you look at that, you're like, oh my gosh, that was a lot just to get started. But really, that probably takes about 30 seconds to do all of that. It's just kind of walking through it that first time, just kind of getting used to where everything is. It can be done very, very quickly. Once you get to this screen, this is where you actually start charting the procedure on the patient. So the very first thing that you will always do is you will always pay yourself first, okay? So this is where you're going to be selecting the appointment fee. So what you're going to do is you're going to click this plus button next to that product icon. And from here, you're going to go and you're going to click on retail. So you can see where it says product, variants, and retail. So the very first thing you do is you're going to click on retail, and this is where the appointment fees are. This is where you have the ability to charge the patient anywhere between $15 all the way up to $55 per patient. Remember that the company will take a total of $12.50 out of the appointment fee. And so we always recommend the bare minimum you always charge is $25 per patient. I don't care if it's your mother, your best friend. You can say, you know, Anne told me that I always must charge $25. It doesn't matter. I want you to get paid for this procedure as much as possible. So you're going to click on retail, and you'll see all of those appointment fees pop up. So 15, 25, 35, 45, all the way to 55. Simply select the one that you want to do. And you're going to click add to chart, or I'm sorry, add to procedure. So I chose $55. Now, once you've done that appointment fee, now you're going to chart the product. So you're going to, again, click on that product, that plus button right next to that product. And now you're going to go to either product or variants, depending on how much product you're going to be using. So if the patient is just requiring a lip flip, they will not qualify for a tier discount. The more product they buy, the cheaper it is per unit. And these numbers are going to be in here. So for the variants, for Botox, there's actually just one Botox, and that is going to be Botox Platinum. So the gold went away. So Botox Platinum is over 36 units. Dysport Platinum is over 80 units, and Jeuveau Platinum is over 36 units. So if the patient is under those amounts, they will not qualify for a tier. You will automatically click on product, and you will click on the appropriate product that they got. So you can see I'll click on product over here, and I'm going to click on, I think I click on Dysport. Okay, I clicked on Dysport. Okay, so this is what you're going to do for your homework. You're going to click on the product Dysport, and you are going to chart 50 units of Dysport for the glabella, so the standard dosing for glabella. So you can zoom in with your fingers and you can double click and you can toggle it all the way up to 10 units. And I'm going to do 5 injection points, so a total of 50. All right. If you accidentally put some product where you don't want to put it on the diagram, so you can see I'm going to do it on the forehead here in a little bit. Once you click on it, you can toggle it up and down, but you can also delete it if you don't like the placement or you just accidentally charted it. How you delete it is you select it with your finger, and there's a trash can icon in the bottom right-hand corner. So I'm going to select and delete, select and delete. Once everything is done, you will then click Save in the upper right-hand corner, which again is that little floppy disk icon. Once all of that is complete, you are officially finished on charting on the patient. The only things left to do at this point is going to be take the patient's payment and chart your traceability and your assessment. Now, to get back to that page, you're going to click that back button in the upper left-hand corner. And you can see everything that I did. I did 50 units of Dysport. I did my consultation fee. And you can see where it says take payment, right kind of at the bottom in the middle of my screen. And you also have add notes directly underneath that. But then you see an X directly underneath that right-hand photo, and it says traceability info. This is where you will update your traceability. So whenever corporate sends you product, or if you get product from another injector, you will have to go in to the .com, to aestheticrecord.com on your computer, and you will have to accept your product transfer. So if Stephanie, who's our inventory coordinator, sends you 100 units of Botox in the mail via FedEx, it's shipped to you overnight. It does come cold. You will have to go in once you have it in your possession. You will then go into aestheticrecord.com and go into the product transfer and accept the transfer. And that is saying, yes, I have 100 units of Botox. Once you do that, you can then click on this traceability information once you are using the product. Now, this particular patient had 50 units of Dysport. So if I received 300 units of Dysport in one bottle, I would go in and update that traceability, and it would automatically subtract 50 units from that vial that Stephanie gave me. What that does is that lets corporate know that I no longer have 300 units. I now have 250 units because I use them on a patient. So it's a way that we can track product as well. Now, please know that we know that it is always going to be a little bit of evaporation that is normal and expected, and that is industry standards. So it's usually around 5% is left to evaporation. So if you're a couple units short, please don't worry about it. We know that that is too expected. When that does happen, please just reach out to Stephanie and say, hey, I had some evap. I was supposed to have 4 units left of Botox, but I don't actually have any. So please just communicate that out to Stephanie. Okay, now for the procedure notes, this is where you're going to be adding your assessment. We use the same, they're called dot phrases. So if you've ever utilized Epic, it's very similar. So you will simply click at the bottom of your screen, and if you type in the period button, all of these assessments are already pre-done for you. You can select them. So I am a nurse practitioner, so I will click APC toxin. If you are a registered nurse, you will click the RN toxin. We also have the B12, the filler, and each of those are for RN, NP, or PA. So just know that. Once you find the one that you would like to do, click on it. And if you need to modify it or adjust it, please feel free to do that. This is where if the patient has any natural asymmetries, you note that in the chart. Or if the patient is on a budget and they are electing to do not full procedure or full dosing because of budget or for other concerns, please note that in here. That way, if the patient comes back to you and says, hey, the product, I still have some movement, you can refer back to this and say, remember that we discussed that you are still going to have some movement because we did not do full dosing due to budgetary concerns. That way that this is just all in writing. So please keep that for your personal records. And this is where you would update your traceability. Now, your batch ID will automatically be in there because Stephanie puts that in there for you, that it's specific to the bottle that you will be holding. And then again, take payment. The different ways that we accept payment within, so this particular patient's going to owe $315. And this is actually what you're going to be screenshotting. Now, your amount's going to be slightly different just because we got rid of the gold tier. So the amount might be slightly more. So just know that. This is what you're screenshotting so that we can see for your homework. Okay, so you'll screenshot this and you upload it to that February onboarding group. And it can just be in a message in that group, and then I will note it. You will click checkout, and you can see that it says validating Aspire. So the EMR recognized that you were using Disport, and Aspire is the reward platform for Disport, which is great. So fully integrated. Now, this is also where you can see promotions and products and the patient's wallet. This is if we are running a special and the patient gets a discount, they will automatically put in here, very simple to use, click on promotions. And when you find the promotion that is active, you will simply click it and it will automatically subtract it from the patient's total. So this is where if you have your launch party special or your friends and family discount special, or for running anything like that, please click on that. Now you will see one that says failed toxin, requires admin approval. It does happen to where if you get a bottle, the bottle is not active. We will be retreating the patient for free. And so please just let us know when that happens, because we do have to turn the bottle in to the individual companies, and then they will send us back a brand new bottle to retreat the patient. So you can see I clicked on a special and it changed the total that they had. So for wallet, this is where Aspire rewards are and Evolus rewards. So again, fully integrated. Sometimes the Evolus one can be a little wonky, especially if it's at the very beginning of a quarter, because they change the magic phrases once a quarter. So sometimes there's a little bit of a lag. So if you do run into where the magic phrases are not matching, you do need to go through the original way to do it in that graphic. If instructions are on the onboarding page of how to do that. All right. Now, the current ways that we accept payment are going to be credit card, Venmo, Care Credit, and Cherry. So those are the only acceptable forms. We do not accept cash anymore. The reason why we don't accept cash anymore, this is actually at the request of the injectors, because they were tired of having to go to the bank to deposit the cash. So we no longer accept cash, but we do accept Zelle, Venmo. The Venmo, you actually Zelle the company, you will Venmo the company. It is simply at My Face Lady, and then the Zelle, it's pay at myfacelady.com. And so very simple for patients to do that. But if a patient does Venmo, or if they do decide to Zelle, you will simply, you won't click on cash, you will click on Green Sky. It just acts as a holder for us. So just know that. So no longer we accept cash. And then for the credit card, you will simply type in the patient's credit card. Now I won't make you watch that. All righty. Any questions about how to chart at all?
So, question, is all of the charting done before you have the patient pay?
Is all, yeah. Yes.
Okay, so you're doing all of that and then they're paying once you're done with that.
Correct. So you chart, or you mark them all up, you inject, then you chart, and then they pay.
Okay, okay.
Yes. Now, great kind of question, Kelly. Please make sure you let the patients know how much it's going to be before you inject. Okay. The reason for that is because I made a huge mistake when I first started injecting, and I was at a Botox party, and it was my very first Botox party. And this woman, she did her like full face neurotoxin, like Botox, like glabella, frontalis, crow's, all of it. It was like 36 units of Botox or something, or 40 units of Botox. And I went and told her her price, and it was $400 and something. And she was like, I thought it was $12, like a unit. And I was like, it is $12 a unit. Use 36 or 40, whatever. She was like, I have $12. I thought this was just going to be $12. She's like, I don't have any other money. So just make sure you give them a heads up of how much it's going to be. Any other questions? Great. Okay, so let's talk about the telemedicine protocol. So for the telemedicine protocol, this is required for our registered nurses. Now, if you are a registered nurse, there is one additional WhatsApp group that you will be in, and that's the telemedicine group. Please let me know if you are not part of the telemedicine group and you are a registered nurse. Please let me know now.
I'm not.
I am.
I am.
Perfect. Okay.
I'm
So,
not.
I don't think I signed up yet for WhatsApp. I mean, I have WhatsApp. I didn't go on there and do the group chat though.
Okay, make sure you do those by this evening. Okay, we want to make sure that everyone is kind of caught up with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do I get into it?
So there should be an email that you received with all of the different groups, but I'm going to just simply text it to you. So let me get into that. Are all of those people who said that they are not in it, y'all are all Texas, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct. Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
I'm not in it either.
Okay, invite group.
I'm not in the telemedicine, but all the other ones, yes.
Link. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna actually, you know what I'll do? I'll put it in the Facebook group. That's probably the easiest versus just texting all of y'all individually. Oh, that's the December group, February. Telemedicine. What's up? Okay, I just posted it in the MFL Onboarding February 2025 group. And I'm going to pin to feature. That way it's going to stay at the top for you. So for telemedicine, there is a graphic in the group as well for the telemedicine protocol, but I'm going to go over it for you. Okay, please make sure that you follow this protocol because while we have several different providers for telemedicine, Lauren is going to be your primary contact, and she likes it done exactly like the telemedicine protocol. Okay, so please know this. The very first thing that you're going to do is the second that you find out you have a patient, you are going to notify in the group that day only. So if I have a patient for 2 days from now, I am not going to put it into the group. I'm going to put it in the group the morning of. And the reason for that is because Lauren kind of plans her day around it, as so do the other providers. And so if you say, hey, I have a patient in 3 days, it's just going to get lost in translation. So please post the morning of the appointment, or if it's a last minute appointment that day, please just post in there the second that you know it. Once you do that, you will then see a lot of different people kind of giving it a thumbs up. Ignore the thumbs up. That is to let Lauren know who her backup providers are in case she is not available. Okay, so the thumbs up are for Lauren only. After you've done that, so what you're going to say is new patient or / dose change at 5 p.m. today. You'll see all the little thumbs up. Then you're going to go to your patient. You're going to mark the patient up. You will get all of their consents done, all of the things, clean them up, mark where they're going to go. And then you will personally text, not on WhatsApp. You will personally text Lauren 5-minute warning. That lets her know she has less than 5 minutes to log in to her Doxy to allow you to do your video consult. If for whatever reason Lauren does not get in, you will utilize the term code tele. You will put that in the WhatsApp group, and then immediately one of the other providers will send you their link, or you can save their links, and then they will do your telemedicine for you. There are several different providers in that group, so just know that. But the big thing that we want you to know is please individually text Lauren the 5-minute warning. Do not put it in the WhatsApp group because sometimes the WhatsApp group, it won't ding on her phone or she might get caught in, a surgery or something. Any questions about the telemedicine protocol? Now, telemedicine must be done once every 11 months. For new patients and for existing patients, it must be updated every 11 months or for any dose changes. It's very different than the hospital. If I were to write an order in the hospital for one of the nurses and say, give 4 milligrams of morphine and the patient has a soft blood pressure, the nurse in the hospital has the ability to say, I just want to give them 2 milligrams of morphine because their blood pressure is a little soft. Unfortunately, outside of the hospital, that does not translate. It must be exactly written by the provider. So if the patient had a lip flip this one time, then the next time she wants to do crow's feet, you can't just write for the whole face. And then the next time just, do this and that. They have to be exactly what they're getting. Any questions about telemedicine protocol? No. Okay. The next one is we're going to do a quick education on the glabella review. So we're going to talk about the glabella really fast. So the glabella, think back to training. It consists of 2 muscles. You have your procerus muscle, which is that clam-shaped muscle right in this belly, right in the center of your eyes. I'm going to pull it up on Canva on the neurotoxin training so you can see exactly what that looks like again. Okay, so for that glabella complex, you have your procerus muscle, and then you have the core greater muscles that kind of go out to the side. Now, for the standard glabella injections, I'm so sorry, y'all. For the standard glabella injections, it's going to be 5 injections. Sometimes the patient doesn't require 5, and you can get away with 3 different injection points. But you can see you do 1 right in the belly of procerus and then 1 on either side of the medial core graters. And then the last injection point is going to be the tail of the core graters. Remember, whenever you're injecting, you want to put your thumb directly on the orbital rim and kind of pinch down. That way you can make sure you're injecting exactly into that glabella complex, meaning that lateral tail of those core graters. Also remember that the lateral tails, as they extend out, they get superficial and thinner. And so you need to make sure that you change the angle and the depth of your needle. That way you don't accidentally hit that frontalis muscle that's directly underneath that. Really important. If you don't do that, that's how you accidentally cause an eyelid ptosis. Okay, so really important that you change that angle. A lot of injectors will simply also omit those lateral tail of the core graters and just simply treat the procerus and the medial core graters with full dosing. The glabella is considered a large muscle group, so that means it can handle 10 fluid units into each injection. So recap to that, for Botox and Jeuveau, you are going to reconstitute it with 2.5, which is a recommended per FDA. For Dysport, you are going to reconstitute it with 3 mLs. Regardless of which product you're using, as long as you are reconstituting it with those concentrations, it will be 10 fluid units into each injection point. Once you go and you want to chart those now, so we'll go back up to this picture. So if I was on this picture and I want to chart this, if I was using Dysport, I would chart 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and I would inject 10 fluid units into each. If I was using Botox or Jeuveau, I would inject 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, but then I would go and chart in my EMR 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Remember your Botox Bible, 10 equals 4, 5 equals 2, and 2.5 equals 1. Any questions on that? Y'all all good with it? Coming back to you? Yes. Okay. All righty. So let's talk about your launch party. So y'all are going to be reaching out to your onboarding specialists to start planning your launch party. Remember that you must have a minimum of 3 patients at your launch party in order to move into your full probationary period. In order to pass your launch party, you must inject 3 patients. This has to be done in front of your onboarding specialist. And the reason for that is because our supervising physicians, they want to see you inject 3 more patients in front of one of our trainers just to make sure that you feel comfortable not only with the procedure, but also with charting as well. So they will help you through that whole process, collecting payments, doing all of that. So they're really there to help you. Now, as far as launch party goes, I always tell people to over invite. If you invite 10 people to your launch party and 8 people show up and you inject all 8, you are officially out of probation. So you've injected your 8 patients. There are several times where injectors get out of probation at their launch party. So over invite. I've also been to launch parties before where they only invited 3 people and only 1 person showed up. So things happen. Please always over invite and follow up and over invite people because life happens. I've been to launch parties where it is obvious that they love to entertain and they love throwing parties and they have balloon arches and they have decorations and they have, food and decor and all this kind of fun stuff. And they're very successful. And then I've been to other launch parties where I walk in and there is 0 decor and they're also very successful. So you do whatever feels the most comfortable of how you would like to launch your injecting business to all of your friends and family, also known as your warm market. So whatever you're comfortable doing, do you. I do recommend that you have somebody there that takes pictures for you. So kind of designate, either it can be your spouse or a friend to take as many photos as possible, because this is what you're going to be using for your social media stuff. Okay, so every single week during our onboarding calls, I'm going to be giving you marketing homework. The purpose of this is just to get you comfortable with putting things out there and to help give you ideas of the types of content that you should be doing. Now, this is by no means exhaustive, and you should be continuing doing this. If you are a social media whiz and you're like, yeah, I'll do this, but I'm going to do so much more than that. More power to you. But unfortunately, nurses in general, we're not great at marketing. And so I just want to try to give you somewhere to start. So this week, the very first thing that you're going to be doing is you are going to be creating, it's called a Frank list. And Frank stands for F, friends, R, relatives, A, acquaintances, N, neighbors, K, kid mom friends. Now, when you break this into the 5 categories, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories, you are going to be putting 10 people into each bucket. Okay. And this is what you're going to create. And you can write it down. It can be either handwritten or you can do it on your phone or computer. You're going to screenshot it or take a picture of it, and you will upload this into the onboarding group. It can just be their first names. You don't have to put their last names. It's really just to get you thinking outside of the box, because you're like, oh my gosh, I really don't know anyone. And it helps put people into buckets so that you can concentrate on who to reach out to. So you're going to create your Frank list. So you'll have 50 people on this list, and your homework, which is a personal homework, you're going to reach out to 10 of those people to invite them to your launch party. Okay. And then the final thing that you're going to be doing this week is you're going to post one time on social media. And it is going to be a graphic that I've already created for you. It's essentially saying I am in the aesthetic industry and I'm an aesthetic injector. And kind of like putting yourself out there that, hey, the open sign from my business is open. So the graphic I will put on the onboarding group. You can screenshot it or you can save it, however you want to do it. You can also add your name to it. There's a lot of different editing apps that you can do. I simply just do it on my phone. And you can add your name to it, but that is what you're going to be posting this week. And I ask that you tag me in it. That way I can like it, I can comment, all of those kind of things, because the more people that interact with your post, the more visibility that you're going to be getting among the different social media platform algorithms. Okay, so 3 things that you're going to be doing this week for your homework. The first one, create your Frank list. take a picture of it and upload. The second is going to be you're going to reach out to 10 of those clients. And then the third is going to be the social media one. Now, also for your homework for aesthetic record, you're going to be taking a picture of your test patient of those 50 units of Dysport. Again, this is just for practice for your launch party. So that is what you're going to be doing for this week. And we are finished with this call. Now, this is a little bit of a longer call just because there was a lot going on. Typically, these calls are going to be around 30 minutes or so. And there's only one other call that's going to be very long, and that's going to be the filler call. And that's because essentially I go over filler, the whole filler training again, and it is about 1 hour. So just mentally prepare for that. And that call is around 6 weeks or so. So does anyone have any questions for me?
If we can't make a Sunday meeting, is that something that we need to let you know beforehand or?
No, great question. So I always record all of these calls and the recording will be posted. If for whatever reason it doesn't record, there are probably like 15 different like week 7 calls or week 6 calls. Simply go onto the Facebook group and type in week 6 and you will show all the previous videos. It's essentially the same video that I do over and over again. And so there's nothing going to be new about it except if you want to see new names on there. But I mean, you might click on a video if for whatever reason, if it didn't record, a couple of times my computer has glitched and it didn't record it. But if that does happen, all the exact same information is on there.
Can you tell us how to do the aesthetic record, how we make ourselves available on the calendar? We go over that we do that on the computer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a second. Go to your dad. You need cash. There's in there. In here? In this bag? Sorry, I'm logging in 1 second. My son's trying to steal money from me. I asked you for it. This to show you what kind of what you should be. One second, I'm logging in. One second, y'all. I'm gonna yell at some kids. Thank you. Does anyone else have a bunch of teenagers at their house? Okay. They just recently changed this. So I'm just kind of playing around with it. I'm trying to see if I can do it for you. Okay, whose is not opened? Tell me one of y'all's names. Who's not opened? Addie, I see yours is opened.
Mine is not.
Mine's not either, Rima.
Mine isn't either. This is Gracie.
Okay, let me do Gracie. Let me see if I can just do it for you. Gracie, I'm showing yours is available. Are you sure yours is not? I have you available from 8 to 10.
Let me go back to the app. Oh, it logged me out. Give me just a minute.
Yep.
When I do the choose the date, it's all gray and it won't let me click on anything.
Raymond, will you check yours now? Let's see if yours just updated.
It's still grayed out in.
Sorry, guys, they just updated this. I'm trying to see if I can just do it for you. Looking for services. Okay, I will do a screen share of how y'all can do it individually. Because it's not going to let me batch do all of y'all at one time. I thought I could try to do that to try to make it faster, but I'll do a screen recording of how to do it. That way y'all can see how I do it, and I'll do it like on my computer, and then I'll post it to that page as well, so that I can help you out. Sound like a plan?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
Sounds
I
good.
will
Thank you.
see everybody next week. Y'all have a good evening.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
All
guys.
right, thank you.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.